Well, hey everybody, this is Charles Harper. I'm with my friend Amy Harrop, and Amy has always got interesting little ways for us to be able to um, really adapt. Being able to sell to people and being able to connect with them. And what I like about the software that she builds is that it's always really super practical. And she was talking about something that she had, and I really wanted to tell you about it. Amy, um, uh, uh, this new project that you have, one thing that I like about it is I know that I run into cases where I've got to all of a sudden really fast kind of create maybe a lead magnet, or I've got to create something that'll almost be like bait and nothing else fits it. Can you kind of talk about, maybe how, your new software project works in that case, and then just in general, what it actually does?
Sure. And thanks so much. And so thanks so much for having me here. Yes, TipHub Creator is my new content creation tool, and it's great for lead magnets. It is basically has a library of over 2,000 tips in a variety of categories, and you can simply select the subtopics or of tips or the specific tips that you want, click a few buttons, and then it'll load them up on a PDF, Word, or PowerPoint with bullet points or numbered lists or checklists, and then you can have your lead magnet right there. You also have the ability to add like an intro at the beginning, like an intro paragraph or topic. And so it's fantastic for lead generation because, as you probably know, people really want short, actionable content. If they're going to
Yeah.
be opting into your list, they don't, gone are the days when people would want to download a 300-page book or a 20, video course just to get on somebody's list. What they want now is something that they can take and apply quickly and easily. And
So I could, oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying then that's just one of the part of the things that TipHub Creator does, but it's really great for those types of lead magnets.
So could I take something that I have, let's say that let's say I actually have a PLR project that somebody, either I bought or I have it in my inventory. Is that the kind of thing that I could put into the software in order to create a lead magnet? Could I do something with something I already have?
Yeah, and that's another great thing about TipHub is you can upload your own content so you can really tailor it. Now, you do upload it on a tip basis, but we make it super easy where you just put them in a CSV file, like one tip per line, and then you upload it. You can specify your subtopics on the first column, and then the tips go on the second column, and that's it. And so I really like that because instead of having content just sitting on your hard drive, again, you can actually take that because most private label rights content, a lot of the written stuff is written out where it's usually pretty short. There's lots of bullet points. It's pretty easy to follow. So you can grab that, put it in there. You can make your own category as well if you have like a separate category you want to put it in, and then it'll just live there for you so you can go and grab it and use it and mix it up and do a lot of different things with it.
So let's say that, let's say I've already got a product and, I'm going to release it. Let's just say for me personally, um, would this be the kind of thing that I could actually very easily create a cheat sheet? So let's say I wanted to create a cheat sheet for, the people who are buying our products. Could I use this, let's say, to really fast kind of create a tip sheet for maybe one of our video products?
Yes, definitely. You can also input your tips manually or just modify the tips that are already in there. So if you see some tips that look good, let's say you're doing something on time management, you can use those as is or maybe just copy and paste from some of the stuff you have and add to those tips or just add in a couple. As you know, with the tip sheet, you're looking at maybe like 5 to 10 pieces of content. So you can just select those or add them in very quickly, and then it'll input out to the tip sheet. And one of the things I like too is you can sort of choose your level of control because if you want, you can just output it right to the PDF, which means you don't have to go in and do other stuff with it. It'll just there's font selections and you can just do that. If you want to, do a little bit more with it, you can also output it to anything that opens PowerPoint or Word doc files, so you can add in more stuff if you want to.
Now, one thing I've been talking to, some of our members about is, you know, really starting to document some of the things that they know. Maybe that they're not necessarily feeling like they want to go, they want to do a launch on something like Warrior Plus, until they really see that they can kind of put things into a bite-sized, understandable way. So let's say that I have this, this area of, knowledge. How would I go about then kind of getting that into something that I call tangible, something that I would be able to put together and make it, a real thing that I could actually sell?
Well, there's a number of ways you could do that. I mean, one of my favorites is to maybe do a quick mind map because that's going to let you know what you already know. You can do like big topics and say, I know about this, this, and this. These are connected. And then that can get converted quickly and easily into a list. And so once you have a list, that's what you have. You have a course outline basically, or you have a product outline. And so it's very easy then to take that and flesh it out more and also use that as a basis for creating some of those other types of materials that might go with that, like a checklist or a cheat sheet or something along those lines.
So if I have a basic framework, I would then be able to take the steps in those framework. I would put them into the TipHub creator, and then basically what I'd be producing is almost like is it clickable? Is something I can deliver in terms of a PDF, that would kind of give a general overview and a fast way for people to be able to understand what I'm saying.
Exactly. And the great thing about that too is you can make it a checklist. You can make it a just bullet points. You can make it numbered. So it's like do step one, step two, step three. You can even add writing lines. So it becomes more like a worksheet. So people then have to put in their response. So there's a number of ways you can uh, deliver that where it's still short digestible content, but depending on what it is and what you want to do, people can then consume it in a different, several different ways.
So, sometimes, one of the questions I get is, I don't, maybe they don't necessarily feel, confident that they're really an expert on anything. So let's say that, a person doesn't really know at this point what they want to create. How could they use then the software to kind of explore some ideas until they find out what it is they want to do?
Well, that's fantastic, and that's another great way to use it because we have, I think there's 10 large categories that have a variety of subcategories, so people can just go in there and click, and that's going to give them ideas for uh, blog posts, lead magnets, courses, products, etc. Because there's a variety of subcategories with different tips, and then they can just flesh those out a little bit more. There's self-improvement, health, relationships, even things that are a little bit more niche like outdoor recreation and pets. So there's a number of different topics there that people can take and expand and then make more of their own. And they already have the tips there as their basic framework.
Yeah, because sometimes you may have a niche, right? But then you got to make this really weird connection. Maybe sometime between maybe you're selling a product on software, maybe Outlook, but then you got to do, yeah, as you were saying, time management. So I could go in to the Tip Hub creator, and if I have to kind of lead into selling a product on Outlook with time management, you're saying I could go in there, find something on time management, and then put it together as a lead-in.
Exactly. You can select your tips. It's just like literally just a few clicks of your mouse and select the subtopics under time management or just a few tips here and there if you want. You can decide if you want to expand them or just leave them as is, and then you can get them in that PDF or Word document and you'll have your lead magnet there.
Yeah, that's cool. So now, so what are those other categories, right? So what are those? You were saying there's like 10. So what are some of those other categories that I could kind of look into and then try to find some of these weirder connections?
Yeah, we have health. We also have nutrition and exercise because those are all popular and they're all
Yep.
separate. We have food and drink. We have pets. We have relationships. And some of the subcategories in there include things like marriage and children and dating and things like that. We have outdoor recreation. We have personal finance. That's another good one as well.
Hmm.
So things like debt management, budgeting, things along those lines. And the self-improvement one is also quite large. It covers things like inspiration, motivation, time management. So it covers A lot. It covers a lot of the popular niches and a lot of the evergreen niches where we already know that people are online looking for that type of content.
So when I get these, let's say the more general information, these are things that I can adapt to maybe make that connection to what it is I'm selling. So if I get my tips, is it so that I could then kind of tweak them so that they fit what I'm trying to do?
Exactly. So you could, if you're doing the time management one, you can take that tip and right there in the software you can modify it. So if it's something like, you should be blocking out your time and grouping your tasks together, then you could put something like, and Outlook is a great tool to go back and look at your emails in one set block of time or something. So you could just add that sentence quickly and easily if you wanted to that tip, and then it would be ready for output. And the thing too about that is it stores them, so you can go back later. You can have your little subcategories or your topics, and they could be set up. And so one time you might want to do a checklist with it. Maybe the next time you'll do a cheat sheet and just change it up a little bit, but you can still reuse a lot of the same content.
So this is cool. So I could take any subject I'm doing and I can make a human sort of connection into something that maybe ordinarily I wouldn't have. So maybe there is a connection between, Outlook and family. And so I could be talking about Outlook. I could go into TipHub Creator and I can make that connection in there inside of the software and have really a really customized sort of document that people could not get elsewhere.
Exactly. You can make it your own, and then you can create your own categories. So you can say, okay, these are my special categories. I've already changed up a little bit. I'm going to keep them, separate from the other ones that were included. So I know that I've already made those changes, and you can make it completely unique.
Yeah. So what I see is I see, I see being able to create lead magnets with this. I see being able to add to products, right? If you've got a specific subject, kind of adding the products. And then in some cases, it almost sounds like I could really go in and I could create something start to finish that would almost be its own product.
Yeah, definitely. You can use these to create and sell if you want, what are often called printables, where you could just create a standalone product in there. You can put your heading, your introduction in there, and then you can add in your content and download it, and then you have pretty much a ready to sell thing there if you want to, or ready or an already done thing. And then of course it is great too for like supplementary or complementary products. If people are doing video, then they can include these to go along with that, in terms of following along or checking things off or making sure that all the key points there are covered.
So now, in terms of making it brandable, is that something I do within TipHub Creator? Do I do the branding within there, or do I get it out and then do the brand?
It depends on how far you want to go. You have the ability to add in like a header and an intro paragraph.
Yep.
So if that's all you want to do, and then you can add also add some borders we have and choose some different fonts. Then you're set. If you want to go more extensive and add like a logo or footer copy or things like that, then you would just export it to Word or PowerPoint and quickly add those in.
Yep. I get it. I get it. Okay. So now, you're going to be releasing this, I think. And today, we're doing this on Friday. You're doing this. You're going to release this when on the 20th? Is that when it
Yes,
is?
yes,
Okay.
420 on the Tuesday, and it's not going to be going away, but there is that special introductory pricing that people can take advantage of.
Okay. So depending on, they're probably going to see this on YouTube when people are going to be watching this. So so I mean, people procrastinate. So, you know, how long will they have to sort of get the introductory? So, first of all, my first question is, I mean, is there a benefit to kind of getting it? Obviously, on the 20th, there's typically a benefit to getting it that day, but then there's probably then also the last day. So getting it the first day, there's an advantage to that, right?
Yeah, there's the introductory pricing does start on Tuesday and it goes through the week through Monday because I do understand sometimes, people need more than just a day or two. They might need a little bit more time, but there's a substantial savings there between picking it up during the introductory pricing period and then picking it up afterwards. There's probably I think around a 30% savings or something along those lines.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, what I like about this is that, and you probably know this, is that sometimes, an offer, whenever you're making it, it starts out, it sells what it sells, but then sometimes, you know, it doesn't necessarily do what you thought it should do. And sometimes you got to add some stuff to it. And sometimes you have to, and when you've already put everything into a launch or a product, you've got to kind of do something fast that's related, but you need, it's kind of hard to think through it. And so it sounds like I could kind of get in here and I could kind of create something that would really give people value, but then really be able to do it fast.
Definitely. I mean, this is something if people want to put together something for a particular product, or even if they're doing affiliate marketing and they want to include something that they're including with that, this would be a great way to add in some extra value because checklists, tip sheets, worksheets, all these things have a very high perceived value, especially, in conjunction with something else. People want their lives to be faster and easier, whether it's business related topics or personal related topics. And that's the type of content, that they're really looking for.
Well, some of my folks, and I'm going to let you go pretty soon here, is are consultants, right? And so it sounds like this is the kind of thing where if I can kind of talk to somebody who doesn't think they have anything, but then to kind of get their thoughts into something, producible. This is the kind of thing that, if you're a consultant, sounds like I could be able to work with somebody to kind of get them to create their own document, but I could do the work for them.
Yeah, you could even use this to build out a questionnaire that they could respond to because you'll have the writing lines and you can just, or like a flow chart, like, okay, like tell me the top three, if you're a consultant, what are the top three concentrations of your business? And then now that you've selected one, and you could have it kind of go through like that. So there's a lot of ways that you could use this with people who are doing, speaking, consulting, brick and mortar businesses, things along those lines.
Yeah, it's cool. Everybody, you're gonna see a URL here in this video. It's gonna be right down near the bottom, and that's where you're gonna be able to get this. And I'm gonna add some stuff to it that'll help you to really leverage it. And it sounds like, from what Amy is saying, there is some benefit to making sure that you get it in the 20th. If you can't do it till then, make sure you do get it by the deadline. And as I said, I mean, those of you who have, benefited from some of the things that Amy has done before, I mean, that everything that she does, first of all, I mean, it sounds like this always should be the case. Like it actually works, first of all. So I've never known Amy to produce anything that just doesn't work, right? Where you're kind of, oh, this doesn't work. But also, as I said, and I think I led into this, very practical, right? This is something that any product creator, anybody, any info marketer really could use to basically tweak a process and make it work. Anything finally that we need to know, Amy, about this that would really kind of get us the whole picture?
Well, I do want to mention that this is not a monthly fee, so it is one time, and my
Mm.
promise is to keep it updated for a minimum of 2 years. So I'm not going to give people a vague lifetime guarantee with software because we all know how well those go sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do promise that it is a one-time fee, and I will be keeping it updated for a minimum of 2 years for that. So people can, get it and know that it's not going to be going away or stop working or something along those lines.
That's what's up. Well, everybody, this has been Charles Harper. I'm with my friend Amy Harrop. I see this way, Amy Harrop, and we're talking about TipHub Creator. Right down here at the bottom is a URL where you will be able to get it on the 20th, along with all of my additional resources that will help you to leverage it. So, Amy, thank you as always. I appreciate having you on. Everybody, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.
Bye, everyone.